Duarte, how many freshmen you had played football this year?
This year we got 7.
7?
Yeah.
And do you feel like it will be an 8th grade football team, or do you think you'll have enough numbers to do a 7th grade team and an 8th grade team?
Not at first, and the schools that from Four Rivers, when they broke away from the youth program, they started out, I know St. James, and one other, I'm not sure who it was, they both only had an 8th grade team for about 2 years, and then they were able to add 7th grade. And they're still competing now with two grades.
Anything else?
Okay. Any other questions while we have Coach Duarte and Taylor in the room?
This is Dave or Mr. Duarte, anything to add? Or was it a
Mr.
question?
Meeker, you kind of seemed a little anxious. So can I ask, like, why if we pushed basketball back, it seemed like you got a little. So I'm just curious if you have any feedback that we should know about in discussions as to why that might have made you a little nervous.
Well, a couple things, which we had kind of talked about moving the season back, but I was concerned about numbers affecting basketball and football, because there are a lot of kids that would try to do both, and there's no way they're going to be able to do both and to be fully committed to one sport or the other. And then the supervision piece, because we already help with football games, home football games. We cover cross country for high school and middle school. We have girls basketball and boys basketball that run pretty much September through November. And just logistically, how are we going to keep up with that? But there again, it's not about us, it's about the kids, but just thinking how we're gonna man all of that. But if we move, and I don't know where we're gonna travel to play football, but keeping our kids out till, if they're traveling far and you play 2 games, you're talking, much later than a basketball game, or what they get done at basketball. So just thinking about that too. I don't know.
Thank you for asking that question, because I was busy writing. I didn't pick up on her cues over here. Okay, any other questions? Right now. All right, I appreciate the time that you've put into it, just getting numbers, and it's if you're looking at adding a new program to your school, I mean, you have to do a due diligence and look at all aspects of it. So, is there anything else that you two want to add?
I did write an email to you, Lisa. Did you share that out?
I shared it. Did you get it?
Mm-hmm.
I think I only shared it to Sherry because she mentioned it, but I will send it out.
Okay. There's a lot
There's
of
a
pros.
lot of pros.
Thinking about the kids, thinking about the high school program, and the kids that would have to try to split between basketball and football. There's a lot that are already doing it. My 2 sons played town football at the same time as basketball when it was an early season, and it's hard. The benefits, though, that we see at the high school level from kids playing football, especially kids that never played before, I think if we get more kids into playing football earlier, the character ed type stuff, the team building stuff, the leadership stuff, if we can start that earlier, I think it's going to pay dividends for these kids. That's the stuff I'm looking at as a coach and as a parent and as a teacher, just trying to reach more kids.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
What do you think will happen to the youth program in town?
So this was actually brought up by Hannah. I think that we are trying to bridge that gap. We work a camp there. Having 7th and 8th graders play middle school, I think kids being in the same school as them, that might actually bring more excitement to the youth program and have more younger kids play, because they don't always, we try to get over there and give them high fives on Fridays, but we have limited access to just be around them. So I think the more kids that are around the younger kids, I think it might actually bring numbers up.
For the youth program
Yeah.
in town?
There's a sense of pride that comes in when they're wearing their jerseys on a Thursday through the hallways, the little
Yeah.
kids kind of want to see that, so.
I did think of one question. Taylor, you said you think like 6 games is what you would,
Yeah.
like ideally
Yeah.
want to schedule. Games, first game is usually the end of August for high school.
Mm-hmm. So
Would
it'll
you
probably be
think
the
that would
first
start
month of
around the
September.
same timeframe?
Yes, so middle school is usually 1 week after that, so it'd probably be the first week of September.
Like September 5th?
Mm-hmm,
And then would you think just every single week for 6 weeks,
yes.
probably?
Mhm.
Okay. When did our youth basketball, or middle school basketball for boys start this year? I know it was.
Middle of September, right?
Yeah, it was later this year.
It was later this year. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
You'll send that, Lisa?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, we have Board of Education proposed agenda items. There are none. We do not have any resident agenda items tonight. So next up, we need to approve our next regular board meeting in the month of December. Oh my gosh, is that date wide open?
Is there anything on the school calendar for that Thursday?
It's
19th's wide open.
not. 19th is wide open. School calendar.
Do it.
wise.
We
I'll
have a
move-
wind
I'll
tournament,
make
but
the
I don't know
motion.
if that day is, it's just me anyway, so.
Well, you're important.
Well, I don't even have to play that night, so we'll just like.
You probably wouldn't know until like, it could hit probably any day that week, right?
I make a motion that it's the 19th.
I second.
Okay, at whatever time we normally have our meetings.
This is earlier.
Just tell me when to show up.
Motion by Caitlin May, seconded by Roger Bridgman. The December board meeting be scheduled on Thursday, December 19th, 2024 at 6 p.m. with closed session to follow. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 7 yes.
Right.
Where are we putting sweaters here?
Or
What? Weird.
all right, next up, we need a motion to go into closed session
So moved.
after a 10-minute recess.
So moved.
Motion by Roger Bridgman, seconded by Caitlin Mace, to go into closed session in accordance with the provisions of section 610.021, subsection 3, 6, 13, and 14 of the revised statutes of Missouri in order to discuss personnel after a 10-minute recess. Roger?
I love recess. Yes.
Lisa? Caitlin?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Chris? Jennifer?
Yes.
7 yes.